The hunger is a hollow thing. It has scraped out the insides of the clan, leaving only a cold ache where warmth and strength used to be. For 3 turnings of the moon, the great herds have been ghosts, their tracks swallowed by an early, brutal winter that has locked the land in a fist of ice. The children are silent now, their cries thinning to whimpers, their eyes too large in their small faces. This is the silent killer of prehistoric life, the slow, grinding attrition that erases a people not with a roar, but with a whisper of fading breath. The hunters move along the edge of the world, where the frozen steppe shatters into the grey, churning sea. They are gaunt silhouettes against a merciless sky, their own survival skills rendered useless. There is nothing to trap, nothing to kill. They are Homo sapiens, masters of stone and fire, yet they are being unmade by the simple absence of food. They follow the coastline not with hope, but with the grim momentum of duty. The air is thick with the smell of salt and frozen mud, a vast, desolate estuary revealed by the pull of the low tide. Then, a sound cuts through the wind. It is not the cry of a seabird or the crash of a wave, but a low, guttural rumble that vibrates through the soles of their feet. It is a sound of immense power and profound distress. Bioa, the strongest of the hunters, Fraser's, his head cocked, tail, the old one whose face is a map of 100 seasons, follows his gaze. Out on the mudflats, perhaps 1,000 paces from the shore, is a god trapped in the earth, a woolly rhinoceros, one of the titans of the Pleistocene megafauna, is hopelessly mired, its massive body sunk to its belly in the sucking, glacial silt. It is a mountain of fur, muscle, and fury, roaring its indignation at the sky. The hunters gather at the edge of the solid ground. Their hunger is sharp, painful thing in their throats. The beast is a walking feast, a season of fattened meat, of hide for shelter and bone for tools. But it is also death incarnate, its horn, a thick blade of keratin, could disembowel a man with a single, frustrated toss of its head. They look at their spears, elegant weapons of flint and wood, and they know those points would break against its hide like twigs. To approach it on the mud would be suicide. The rhino thrushes, and the mud groans, pulling it deeper. It is a fortress of life they cannot breach, a promise of salvation they cannot claim. This is the brutal calculus that underpins the existence of early humans. A choice is laid before them. Stark and absolute starve slowly on the shore, or be obliterated quickly in the mud. For a long moment, no one moves. The only sounds are the wind and the enraged bellows of the trapped god. It is Kale who speaks, his voice a dry rasp against the wind. He does not point with his spear, but with his chin, a gesture as old as their hominid history. He points not at the beast, but at the horizon, at the thin, dark line where the sea is gathering its strength. He speaks of a different weapon, not of flint, but of water, not of a sharp edge, but of crushing weight. The plan forms in the air between them, a thing of shared intellect and desperate hope. They will not kill the rhino. They will help the ocean kill it. This is the leap of cognition that defines their journey in human evolution, the ability to see the environment not just as a setting, but as an alloy, a tool, a weapon to be wielded. The hunters nod. They understand the terrible genius of it. They understand the risk. The tide waits for no one. The dance begins. 2 younger hunters, agile and swift, break from the group and begin a wide, circling run onto the mudflats. They are the nets, the destructions. They carry no heavy spears, only stones and shouts. They dart in, hurling rocks that clatter harmlessly against the rhino's matted flank. Their high, pitched cries piercing the beast's bellows of rage. The rhino, its world already a terrifying prison of mud, focuses its fury on these fleeting torments. It heaves, turning its massive head, its horn sea-withing through the air, but the mud holds it fast. Each movement, each surge of adrenaline, sinks it deeper into the estuary's grip. Meanwhile, Bio and 3 others move with a different purpose. They carry the clan's greatest piece of primitive technology, a massive rope, as thick as bull's arm, woven from countless strands of river vine, cured and strengthened over a full season. Their progress is agonizingly slow. The mud sucks at their legs, cold and greedy, threatening to claim them as it has the rhino. They are vulnerable, exposed. If the rhino's attention shifts for even a moment, they are dead. But the young hunters play their part perfectly. A frantic life or death ballet on the edge of the beast's reach. The OR reaches the rhino's churning rear legs. The air is thick with the animal's hot, panicked breath. He and another hunter lunge, straining, wrapping the vine rope around a colossal ankle, pulling the knot tight with trembling. Mud, slick hands. The beast feels the new restraint and bellows, a sound of pure tectonic fury. It thrashes, and one of the OR's hunters loses his footing, vanishing for a terrifying second into the dark slurry before being hauled back by his companions. They secure a second leg, the rope stretching taut, a fragile leash on a living mountain. The clan has anchored the god to its grave, but now they see it. The mortar, no longer a light on the horizon. It is a creeping sheet of liquid cold, advancing across the flats, its touch silencing the squelching mud as it flows inexorably toward them. The water is a living thing now, a predator in its own right. It licks at their ankles, shockingly cold, a numbing reminder of the closing trek. The rhino feels it too. Its rage gives way to a new, more primal fear. It heaves its body with a desperation that churns the mud into a frothing soup, fighting the ropes, fighting the silt, fighting the rising sea. The young hunters retreat to the shore. Their part in this drama of ancient humans concluded. It is up to BOR and his team, Bianca's, to hold the line. The water climbs to their knees, then their waist. The cold is a physical blow, stealing their strength, but they hold, their bodies braced against the immense, terrified power of the beast. The water is the weapon, but it is an indiscriminate one. It seeks to kill everything. The rhino's bellows become choked, liquid gurgles. Its massive head, held high in defiance for so long, begins to droop. It lifts it once, twice, spraying a plume of icy seawater, its eyes wide with the terror they recognize in themselves. This is the brutal heart of prehistory, the shared terror of all living things in the face of oblivion. The water is at its shoulders now. BOR and his men are submerged to their chests, their faces masks of grim endurance. They can feel the rhino's life force waning through the top vine, its panicked lunges weakening into exhausted shudders. This is the moment of victory, and the moment of greatest peril. With a final, gurgling sigh, the behemoth surrenders. Its head sinks beneath the grey, swirling surface. The battle is over. The clan on the shore lets out a ragged cheer, a sound of triumphant, profound relief. But BOR does not release the rope. The tide's current is a powerful, unseen river, and it is pulling the colossal carcass away, threatening to steal their heart. One pries into the deep. Pull BOR roars, his voice swallowed by the wind and waves. He leans back, his entire being a counterweight, and the others follow his lead. Suddenly, the rope goes slack. One of the knots, frayed by the beast's final struggle, has given way. The dead weight of the rhino, caught by the current, lurches sideways. BOR, at the end of the line and overextended, is whipped off his feet. He vanishes beneath the waves without a sound. Kale screams his name. The other hunters, gasping, plunge their hands into the churning, opaque water, grasping blindly. The current is a merciless hand, and it has taken him. They find only the slick, empty end of the vine rope. On the shore, the clan's celebration dies in their throats. They watch as the remaining hunters, with an agonizing slowness born of grief and exhaustion, drag the mountain of meat toward the shore, the tide finally helping them. They have won. There will be food. There will be fire and life and stories. Their children will not starve. But as the immense, dark shape is finally heaved onto the frozen shingle, the silence falls. They have fed the future. But the cost is a hole in their present, a space where their strongest hunter used to be. The tide of death brought them life, but it demanded a sacrifice in return. A truth known to every creature that has ever struggled to see another sunrise on this ancient earth. The survival of these ancient humans was never a story of triumph. It was a ledger, written in blood and bone, where every gain was marked by a loss. The rhino's body would sustain the clan through the rest of the brutal winter, its bones becoming tools and its hide a new wall against the wind. The memory of the hunt would be etched into their collective mind, a lesson in foresight, cooperation, and the cruel, impartial mathematics of existence. These desperate gambles against impossible odds. These acts of communal will where individuals subordinate themselves to the group, that we see the bedrock of our own society being laid. Their struggle is the echo in our own instincts, the ghost that whispers to us of the profound, unbreakable bond between individual sacrifice and collective survival. Their ghosts walk with us, embedded in the very DNA that compels us to work together, to plan for a future we may not see, to pay a heavy price for the continuation of our story. How much of our modern world is built not on the victories of our human ancestors, but on the lingering lessons of their most tragic losses? This is the Chronicle. We do not judge, we only bear witness. And what happens when the thing they hunt begins to hunt them back?